Hey, hello, and welcome back to Shop Talk, and thanks for joining me here at the shop. So we're working on the Blue Bayou Outrigger. So this originally was a gas-powered or glow-powered rigger. I've never had it in the water. I've had it mocked up a little bit. I had the motor mounted, so I plugged where the motor mount holes were, had rubber and then screws screwed in to hold the motor mount. So I blocked all that off. I completely tore the bottom out of it because the whole boat was warped. The guy built it for me from Blue Bayou, and he built it with a warp. So I had to fix that. So that's one of the reasons I never really got it in the water. So I'm converting this thing to electric. I kind of did a general mock-up of where the battery's going to go, the motors, speed control, the hardware, what it's going to weigh to where it's going to balance out to where it should come out to about where the motor is, actually, right in that area. So what we've done so far is I've straightened out the boom tube so that everything's square. Everything sits level, sits flat, all that. I used a aluminum motor mount, and I glued that inside the hull. I can still get at the screws, the motor will still come out, no problem, no issues. I've started working on the stuffing tube, so I've got it long in there. It's also plugged into here. I've got it taped up, so now my next thing is I'm going to put some glue here on the inside, get that all glued in. I'll put some probably some carbon fiber over this as well, and maybe make a little bracket right up in here for it as well. Foam for the battery, so I was testing to see how much, because this sticks up quite a bit. I'll also probably put some 1/4-inch strips down the side. I've already got some in the motor mount on both sides, so it's perfectly square inside the hull. My other issue is this motor mount's a little bit loose, so I can move it. So I got to make sure that's square when I get it all done. And I got the hardware mounted. The stub shaft, or the stuffing tube, is inside a little bit inside the strut, and the strut is perfectly level when it sits on the ground. So there you go. I'm going to run a 150 cable. This is a 3650 1500 motor is all that's in there. I'm using it to mock up. I may end up putting this one. This is a 3180 3660. This is probably what's going to end up going in it at the end result. So we'll see how that transpires. And now what I'm working on is, this is my mock-up of a ski that I've used for my bullet racing. However, I'm going to make it about the length of this. So if you figure that this is going to stick back about to there, and you put this to here, it's going to go to about where the center of gravity point is. So that's going to be about perfect. So it's going to be roughly 10 to 12, maybe 15 millimeters wide. I've got a pretty wide one on my Zips 26, so we may copy some of that. And then the next thing we're going to do, and I'd like to use spruce, but I don't have enough of it, is I would lay this on the edge, and this will give me a lip underneath that I can glue a piece of wood, plywood onto that, and then the hatch covers will sit down on that. And then I also have to make provisions for some sort of a hatch to go over where the motor is, because it's definitely sticking up. My other alternative is if I got something high enough, but when I look at this, and this is, I think, a 1/2 inch, it's going to need quite a bit. So I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to go with this and then make a hatch. So right now I'm going to work on the ski and get the ski built. I'll get this glued in, and I think the top part we'll worry about last. I actually had this mounted lower. I had extra holes down there, so I moved it up to the top holes are now the bottom holes. Comes out perfectly level right here on the top. So that's perfect, and I still have room to move it down and move it up if I absolutely need to. As short as that stuffing tube is going to be, though, it's going to be a little tough to do that, but obviously you could bend it a little bit. And I am going to run a liner. So here's my liner. That'll go in there. And my tube, I just need to order a new shaft for this, and that shouldn't be any big deal either. This is actually the same strut they use in the Genesis with the 150, so should be strong enough. I know the Genesis has an upgrade to 187. But the struts are actually still the same. The difference is the factory one I think is 4mm strut, and I've got the 3/16. So anyway, that's the update on the Blue Bayou rigger, and hopefully we can have this done in a few weeks. Okay, we're back. So I've got a little bit more done. As you can see, I got the ski built. I made that out of basswood. Turned out actually extremely well. I think I'll make all of them out of basswood. Pretty easy, and it sticks and it makes it stiff. One of the problems I had with my Zips 26 was this material was plywood, and it was like 60/4, and it was warped in here, and it's got bubbles. This here stays a little bit stronger. Anyway, I got the stuffing tube all epoxied in. I got it fitted so I have it about where the height is going to be with the skis, so that's all set. Of course, I'm going to have to take it all apart to paint it, but I know that it'll go there. So that's all good. I had to order a shaft. This is a 3/16 150 shaft, but it's the 3.5 or 3.25 or whatever it is. It's the long one, and I need the short one. So as you can see, if you have a propeller on this, so you do need to check your shaft sizes when you're configuring these things. So you figure the drive dog's in there about that. If you look at this, the shaft is sticking well into the copper brass, and that's not going to work. So it should end about right there, because the second bearing is about right there. So bearing there, holds the grease, comes out, no problem. I got the liner all cut out. That's here somewhere. So anyway, that's where I'm at as of now. So we'll call this the end of the part 2 or part 1 or whatever part it is, and we'll get waiting for the other parts we need, and then get the rudder mounted and get a servo mounted, well, mocked up anyway, because I have to paint it. So far looking pretty good. Thanks for stopping by. Please, by all means, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. It really helps the channel, and the likes really help the channel as well. Please hit the like button. Hope you want more content like this. Leave a comment if you have a suggestion or a question about anything. I do respond to every comment that I get. So thanks much. I appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.